Hello there, you. Hey, you. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to my channel. And if you're wondering why I'm dressed like this today in lime green and my white hat, it is not because of the Brat album.
Oh, that sounded really bratty!
Do not clock me. Don't clock me. I know what you're thinking. You're coming on this channel, you're looking at me, you go, oh, another one of those, a gay, and in lime green, and it's June. You're thinking, Brat, But no, unfortunately today we are not here to talk about Brat. We are here just to talk about the newest TikTok trend that is taking over the world and taking over my For You page. You know, I think we are done with the past TikTok trends of like jelly fruits, whipped coffee, skibbity toilet riz. I think I said that wrong.
Have a good day. Skibbity toilet riz.
the Zoomers are gonna come after me for saying that wrong. We're done with that. We've moved past that at this point. The new trend is, you guessed it, harassing minimum wage workers.
I can't stop winning.
We always go back to this. Every single year we always have a new viral video or a new trend of harassing minimum wage workers. But this one's not as bad. This one's just kind of, like I said, mildly inconveniencing people and getting them a little bit irritated. The trend that I've noticed take hold on my For You page comes from a creator whose handle is Crawly Possessed on TikTok. Crawly Possessed. And he is a Russian content creator who has made TikToks mostly just like walking around malls and crawling around them. And I'm not sure if his name in the handle actually has any like correlation to the activity that he does in the mall, but every TikTok that I've seen is he will be like crawling or on all fours, like just kind of walking around stores and like, in and out of aisles, or just like walking around and like doing obnoxious stuff like spilling food. Or walking around on his stomach like a worm, like inching across like a worm almost. It's so interesting to see. And like I said, this one isn't as bad because you're not harassing anybody, but you are like getting some pretty interesting side eyes. Like if I saw that in my mall, I would absolutely run. I don't even go to the mall that much to begin with because malls are dying in general, so I would be surprised to see this to begin with. But if I did see that, I would probably, like, that would be my last straw. Like I would never go to a mall ever again. It's not for me. Like, this ain't for me. So like I said, he does do stuff like that on his channel, crawls around malls and just kind of randomly comes up to people sometimes and just kind of weirds them out, I'll say. And after crawling around the stores and seeing how much attention that was getting him on his TikTok, I mean, he was getting millions of views from these crawling videos and like basically built up like a legion of followers. Through those crawling videos, he started doing more characters. For example, he would sometimes bring a bucket and a mop, a bucket and a mop, to bring it into the store, into the back behind the cash register, and start sweeping and cleaning the floors. And I mean, when you're in a fast food establishment, the people that you're working with are teenagers, so and like maybe one manager, so you know, poor Kyle is probably just like, okay. I mean, you can see how weirded out he is in that video. He's literally just standing there like So and then he'll clean, and then there's another character that he sometimes does too, is he will walk around like he's in a straitjacket as well and pretend like he needs help getting out of it, like he escaped an asylum or something. I'm guessing is what the actual vibe is supposed to be. Is that he like escaped a mentalist institution or asylum. Do we even use straitjackets anymore? Like, do we even use those for people, or is that something that's kind of been banned? Someone get back to me on that. Anyway, he found a straitjacket and then would walk into an H&M or a Zara and pretend like he's like writhing in pain and trying to get like himself dislodged from the straitjacket. It just creep people out, which honestly I will admit is really funny. That one did kind of get a kick out of me. Then on top of that, he would go to these places and crawl and roll around on the floor and sometimes just drop food in front of people. My favorite thing about these videos is that sometimes he'll do all of this and you won't see a reaction from the audience that's right in front of him. It's very much so the bystander effect of like, okay, if no one else is going to do anything, then I'm not going to do anything. If no one else is going to react, then I'm not going to say anything. So they just don't. They just pretend like nothing's happening, which I think garners the success of the content, because you're seeing Crawly do all of these wildly like insane things, and then the general public is just like, okay,
work.
So I don't know what happens in Russian malls, if this is like normal or casual. I will note, if you look in these malls, they are way more populated than any American mall that I've ever seen in my life. They are like fully booked. Like, they actually have people walking around. I'm kind of surprised, because malls are very much dying in America. That's a different conversation for another day. So he also had this one character that he's been doing. I'm not even sure if it's a character. He will pretend like he's having a medical crisis in a store. He'll literally be in a store and he'll have these friends of his or just other people who will dress up like they're like giving surgery, or like they're a nurse, and they'll have like the shower cap and the paper, and they'll literally bring a stretcher with him behind him, and he's like pretending like he like is having a seizure and then being dragged out of the store. Like, he tells stories. Like, he does not play, he tells stories. When he does these skits, he is committed to the bit too, and that's my other thing, is the commitment to the bit is also what makes the content. So I think honestly I'm approving of this brain rot, because it's become my For You page, and I've laughed, so I get it, skibbity toilet riz, like I get it, you know, it makes sense now, it's all coming to me. And the real reason that he's been kind of taking off is that he's committed to these really outlandish characters. I mean, we saw it with the just writhing in pain on a stretcher and getting dragged out on a stretcher from a fast food place, to crawling around and cleaning up floors. Like, he had these characters, but I don't think they were fully fleshed out until he was able to get all this following, and then probably some more budget to actually flesh out these ideas.
This is, honey. I don't know. They make them when you got the coins. Really?
He has this one character that walks around on stilts, and it looks like the Babadook met Maleficent and had a baby. And he'll walk around in the mall in these stilts, which honestly, kudos to him. I don't know what his past career choices were, but if he hasn't thought about being on Cirque du Soleil or doing some sort of circus work or anything like that, you can walk on stilts. That's pretty hard. I feel like it's in the same category of you needing talent as using a unicycle. Like, stilts and unicycle, you have to have the leg muscles and the balance in order to do both. So kudos to him for doing that. And he'll walk around on these stilts though, around to fast food restaurants and cashiers, and just like kind of harass them basically. I was gonna say not harass them, but he kind of harasses them a little bit, kind of gets them riled up and just kind of annoys them a little bit, and then walks off. That's the thing about these videos. He usually never goes too far. He just kind of walks off. That was the Babadook character. Like that was the one that really took off too. That got him lots of views on TikTok. The next character that really took it to the next level was the character that he posted on his TikTok account June 27th, and it was a wizard in a green robe walking on it's like two legs, like he's squatting down, and he has a white cap, and so that's why I brought my white hat today and the green cardigan. Like, does it make sense now? Are we getting it? Are we getting the plot? He has these puffy eyebrows that he used with, like, you can tell they're like cotton balls and like this puffy beard that he made with cotton balls too. Like, it's a very low budget costume, but I think that's what makes it like even funnier. But that was the one that really took off, is this green wizard. And when I say took off, I mean you can literally go to his page and see the view count and look at the difference when he posted his other characters and look at the green wizard character and see how big of a difference it made with his content. So Crawly will go into these stores as well and just kind of hop around to other aisles as well, like his older characters. But usually I've noticed with Crawly is he will try to go behind the register and just kind of like almost like Animal Crossing speech where I just and if you like that, like and comment and subscribe. Then we'll just leave. He'll just leave after that. There's this one video where he does it in a Burger King and he just walks behind the register, and you can tell he's trying to get someone's attention. You can tell he's trying desperately and nobody cares. Like those Burger King workers had stuff to do.
You got a job? Baby, I own businesses.
This is not something they play about. So they just didn't care that he was there. So he runs out and he goes under like a table where there are women eating. And I'm so surprised. I wish I could see the longer form content of how he does that, because crazy. I wanted to know what was going on through those women's heads. What were they thinking? Like, how do you even explain that? The other big thing about this wizard character is that he uses a leitmotif for this wizard character. Yeah, we're getting like cinematic terms to talk about this content. It's like this medieval like dark fantasy type of theme that he uses for the video, and so you can just immediately tell when you are clicking on a wizard video versus his older content, which I think is really smart too, which also adds to the wizard's charm. Another video that I really adore from Crawly is when he's walking into an H&M. He has his pink fly swatter that he just somehow got for the character as well. He tries to go behind the counter, and you can tell the manager sees him and is like, absolutely not, we're not doing this. And she comes around to the other side of the counter and immediately pushes him to the ground. I swear, it's like he almost loses his character for a bit because of how he got pushed to the ground. You can tell he wasn't expecting to be pushed to the ground. I don't even know, like, to have the balls to do that. Honestly, pretty iconic. Honestly, pretty smart. Soon after he's doing the wizard bit for a while, you can tell like he's definitely starting to feel more comfortable with this, and I don't know if that's because of the views as well, because you can clearly tell like the audience loves this, me included. He starts to do reveals, like almost like the old like YouTuber, like, welcome back to my channel, and then they like don't want to take time doing cuts, so they transition, you know, they do that transition. That's the transition that he does for the wizard costume. Instead of him taking off clothes, he's putting on the costume. Like, this is his life. This character clearly took off with TikTok and has become probably his most popular bit and his most lucrative bit, I would say. While he is making these videos, he somehow meets up with Twitch streamer iShowSpeed while iShowSpeed is in Europe for his like just stream because he's going to some event in Europe, and they meet up, and it's like two dogs when they see each other from outside of a fence. When one dog is on the other side of the fence and the other dog is on the other, it's like they just can't stop barking at each other and just can't stop going. That's how their first interaction goes. I don't know, maybe this is a nice show speed thing where he just barks at people that he has guests on his stream, but they literally just start barking at each other.
Okay. Okay.
Watching that video, I feel like I no longer am young. I feel like I looked at that video and I was like, I don't understand if this is a humor that is beyond my age range, like that I've grown beyond. And honestly, I'm like, that's interesting. After the I Show Speed meetup, or even before that, I would say, he started to incorporate more characters into the wizard bit. Now there is an actual knight, which I Show Speed mistakenly thought he was before. Now there is an actual knight, and personally I don't like how this knight looks. Like, I know that this is a low budget type of vibe and a low budget skit, but looking at this knight, I'm like, that is like 10 times worse for some reason. It's like a foil pie pan on his head, like aluminum foil with like tape around it, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, that is so ugly to look at.
Brother,
But I do appreciate the fact that there is another character. Without the other character, without the knight, it would have gotten a little bit tired fast. There's lore to this. The knight protects the cashiers. Crawly, the wizard, wants to get behind the cash register to, I don't even know, harass workers or steal money, or just whatever. But then the knight comes along and he wants to save and protect the cash registers. So I'm not sure if we're gonna get another character, but I think the next big thing is a mythical creature. You need another creature. For example, Shrek's got Donkey, he's got Puss in Boots. I feel like there's gotta be a dragon. A dragon. They need a dragon. It just came to me. The wizard needs a dragon. I'm a genius. I'm a genius. Last thing I wanted to touch on with this is all of the fan art and the cute just animations that I've seen about this wizard. They are 10 times cuter than what the wizard actually looks like in these videos. But they are cute nonetheless, and keep the fan art up because I really do enjoy it. And you can tell like this character is so beloved, and I think it's about that time that we brought just like fun pranks like this that are actually harmless and not pranks that actually do inconvenience people and annoy them. Annoying them ever so slightly. You know, you don't have to go over the top. You don't have to do too much. This is perfect. This is perfect. Love him to death. Love him to death. Thank you so much for watching, and go hobble around your local H&M or your Zara or your Abercrombie and just give those 17-year-olds something to smile about, something to be happy about that day, some story that they can tell to their friends. I had this wizard guy come in the store and pretend like he wanted to steal some t-shirts. That was fun. Bye.